Hey everybody, Zabian here, and in this video I'll be going over 5 ways that you can make gold before Legion. I realized in my old video it was a bit out of date and could do with an update. So let's get on with this because waiting. Ah yes, Garrisons, the epitome of laziness all clouded around a Facebook game interface, which honestly seems like Blizzard's attempt to make us more antisocial than we already are. I'm not gonna lie, there is gold to be made here, quite a lot actually, depending on how many alts you have, but all you have to do is log in, do shit for 2 minutes, and then log out again. However, since it's still a gold making method, I'll include it. First thing you have to do is get a Frostwall Tavern or Inn, depending on what faction you play for. This allows you to obtain treasure hunter followers that give you bonus amount of gold for each gold mission that you complete. Missions you want to go after are the ones that reward gold and items, with some even rewarding special items like Medallions of the Legion and Elixirs of the Rapid Mind, which sell for a decent amount of gold. A great way to earn some bonus gold from all of your missions is to build a level 3 salvage yard. This allows your missions, when completed, to have a chance to drop crates of salvage or bags of salvage. You simply take these to your salvage yard, open them, vendor all the junk, while of course keeping an eye out for some nice transmog gear to sell for extra on the auction house. As far as professions go, they are the most profitable if you spend most of your time crafting. Selling various items like gems and enchants is a surefire way to make a lot of cash on the side. However, there is a few items that stand out as the most profitable. Of course, you probably already guessed it's mounts and crafted gear. Although this method is very grindy and sometimes costly depending on whether or not you can be bothered to farm your own materials, the profit margins are quite high. The most profitable crafted mount as of now is the Vial of the Sands, and is how I made all of my gold. Although I wouldn't recommend it to anyone who wants to make fast gold, as the grind for both the recipe and the materials is a bit of a pain. Gathering materials for crafted armor and weapons is easy. Simply build a level 3 barn at your garrison and farm mobs until you can cap your work orders. After they've been completed, you can collect your savage blood and rinse and repeat until you have enough to craft the item upgrades needed for your items. Savage blood can also be sold on the auction house on its own. Usually not for very much, but if you farm enough and have bundles of them, then you can use that alone to make gold. For the higher level upgrades, you will need to switch out Savage Blood for Fellblight, which means you will have to head over to Tanan and either farm or kill Kazak on all of your characters. However, these are also sellable, so if you want to invest some time, you can also use this as a way to farm gold. Although, be aware it's not as good as the other ways. I won't spend too much time on this one, but I've said it once and I'll say it again. Old raids is a very nice way to earn gold, especially if you're going to the instance anyway to farm for rare mounts. Honestly, I'm sure everyone has been told that doing all these instances every week is good for gold. However, I would suggest this as an on-the-side option if you aren't doing anything anyway, or if you're waiting for your garrison missions to complete. If you're new to WoW and don't know what farming old raids means, well, you basically just kill all the bosses and mobs within an old raid instance, loot them, and then sell the items to your closest vendor. Of course, keep an eye out for bind and equip items, which can be sold in the auction house for a little bit more. If you don't know where the entrance to an instance is, ask your guild. I'm sure they will be more than happy to help. During the next few months upcoming to Legion, there is one thing I will be making sure I have. I will be stocking up on items that have been released to the game during Warlords of Draenor. The reason why I'm doing this is because during WoD, World of Warcraft has lost a huge amount of its subscriber base. Now, from this we can make the assumption that most people will come back to try Legion, but they won't have any of the pets, mounts, bags and etc. that we can acquire right now for pretty much nothing. Now, during Legion, this will cause items to be bought a lot faster and allowing prices to spiral slightly upwards. The main items I will be stocking up on is Hexweave bags and the current cheap mounts. I know technically this part of this video wasn't how to make gold right now, but it will be useful when Legion goes up. And now for the last item on this video, quest item farming. If you don't know what I mean by this, I'm talking about the Sealed Tome of the Lost Legion and the Battered Hilt quests that are dropped from mobs. Sadly, the Sealed Tome, you have to be a warlock in order to get it. However, for the Battered Hilt, you can farm the Pit of Sauron instance and hope to get a drop from one of the mobs in there. But the true question is, Is it really worth the grind? Well, it really can depend. If you were lucky, then yeah. If you're grinding for long periods of time and getting nothing, then sadly, not really. But, if one does drop, you can have the pleasure of putting it on the auction house and selling it anywhere between 10,000 and 25,000 gold depending on your realm. So, to get to the Pit of Sauron, you first make your way to Icecrown Citadel and fly to the dungeon entrance location to the right hand side. You then look to the door for the Pit of Sauron and you enter the instance through there. After you're in, simply kill everything, loot, and if you get nothing, head back out and reset the instance to try again. However, do not expect this item to drop on your first, second, third, maybe even up to 15th or so try, because it's quite rare and normally does take a bit of grinding to be able to get it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the video, you can hit the like button. If you want to see more content from me, you can hit the subscribe button. And as for the rest of your day, I hope you enjoy it. Goodbye.